Just coming up to 11 minutes to the top of the hour. Welcome back to Power Lunch on CNBC Europe. UK retail sales rose more than expected in October and at their fastest rate in almost a year. But will the tills be ringing in November as shoppers will start to count the costs of rising interest rates? Joining us now to look at the crucial holiday retail sector is Harsha Wickramasinghe, retail analyst with Verdict Research, and Bib Ivins, MD of comScore Europe. Gentlemen, welcome to you both. Thank you very much indeed for coming in. Bob, I want to start with you. Are the online retailers they just seem to be having it all their own way? The numbers get better and better as the months and years go on. Is that the situation?
Yeah, we expect to see significant growth in online retail sales this year, driven really by 4 or 5 factors. One, more people online, more people with broadband access, more people with comfort and experience with buying online, and a strong UK economy.
Harsha, it's a bit difficult to argue. You can just sit at home, click of a mouse. Sure, you'll have to wait for your product to come through the post and rely on a good postie service, but it's difficult to know how the shops can answer. I appreciate that most of them have got online businesses, but what are they to do?
Absolutely, but you've also got to realise that e-retail or online retailing at the moment is still a very small percentage of total retail. At the moment it's accounting for around 4% of total retail, and over the next 5 years we expect that to increase to no more than 7 or 8% at the most. So it is rising very fastly, very quickly, but from a very small base, and it's still a very small pie in the overall part of retailing.
Is it not a stunning increase to go from virtually nothing to 7% in, what, matter of a couple of years?
Absolutely, it is a stunning increase, and obviously, as Bob has said, facilitated by rising broadband penetration, more people moving online, and these are all key factors. And traditional bricks and mortar retailers are having to, develop their online operations, and this is a key area for them now that they need to grab and capitalise on.
So it's just still a small part of the pie then, Bob?
I think that's an interesting point, though. If you see it growing 20–30%, when it's 3 and 4% of total retail sales, it can add a whole percentage point to the entire bucket.
Where from here, though? I mean, how are the retailers going to get more customers to purchase online?
It's interesting. Online shopping is one of the most popular things to do online. So what we don't really see is more people online. We see people with higher, I would say, cyber store traffic. So they go to more sites, they spend more time, they look at more pages, and their shopping baskets get larger and larger.
So the actual numbers, if we look at it on a Europe basis, can you gauge where more of the online traffic is coming from?
UK is really well developed in terms of online retail sales. In fact, 90% of the people online go to some shopping site in the course of a month. That compares to the 70% around Europe. France is a little bit lower than the average. Germany is a little bit higher than the average.
So what are we, just in the UK, more antisocial or
no, I think it's
lazier?
It's just well developed. If you take a look at online ad spend, the UK is leading the allocations. 10% of all advertising dollars are online now, and that compares to the US, where it's only like at 6%.
Sure, that's what it's all about, and a completely different story. And naturally, the broadcasters have seen a lot of those ad revs go to online. Harsha, what about the stores then? How are they going to counteract this huge demand coming from online?
I think they've got a lot of things in their favour. There's still the whole aura of going to the shops is still a big thing. I mean, these retail sales figures that came out today did show a surprising increase of 3.9% in the value of sales, which is better than we had all expected. And in the run-up to Christmas, retailers are getting their act together. They're using more targeted promotions to drive customers to their stores, and it's still a very attractive area for going to the stores, especially in the run-up to Christmas. As we said before, home delivery, people will need to wait around for their parcels to arrive, and there's still that thing where people can now go to the store, order online, reserve their items at the store and go and pick them up. It's the whole multi-channel thing where online and the physical retailing are kind of migrating together, and that's a key area.
The trouble is, Harsha, where's the future? Is it the out-of-town big malls? I mean, let's face it, going to Oxford Street in London is an absolute ordeal.
Absolutely.
Unless you go at 9 o'clock in the morning, do your shopping in an hour and then get out of Dodge. you're in huge trouble.
Absolutely. I mean, Oxford Street is a case in itself, and it is obviously due for a huge upheaval, and it's dying for it, really. It's calling for that quite seriously. But there is still a lot of demand. I mean, over the next 5 years, there is around 30 million square feet of retail space on the high street alone due to come on board. Whether all of these plans will come on is another question, but you've got the likes of White City, Stratford in the East End. These are very big schemes, and retailers are still very bullish about the prospects for growth on the high street.
That's a fair point. Bob, just finally, is the high street on the way down?
No, I think what you just said is exactly right. I think it's a very, very important component, but it needs to be considered in the entire mix, where you want to shop, how you want to shop, and when you want to do it.
Gentlemen, we'll keep our eyes on the situation. Thank you both very much indeed for coming in. Bib Ivins, MD from comScore Europe, and Harsha, many thanks to you as well. Harsha Wickramasinghe, retail analyst with Verdict Research.